What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
This is the OPS pregame report.
It's a freezing night outside here in southwest Allen County as the Homestead Spartans are set to play host to the Concordia Cadets. Good evening, everyone. I'm Noah Johanningsmeier, being joined alongside Braxton Hall and my sideline reporter, Anthony Gery, as we are now just minutes away from tip-off. And Braxton, here tonight, the Homestead Spartans, they are in the middle of a jam-packed week schedule this week as they have been playing 3 games this week, and this matchup here tonight is in the middle of 2 top-5 matchups.
Yeah, the Spartans are on a really tough part of their schedule right now, including tomorrow, when they'll play the 5th-ranked Noblesville Millers, but they can't be looking ahead of that game too much. So tonight's a big conference matchup with Concordia, and as we know, every conference game matters when it comes down to the end of the year.
It certainly will matter. This is an intense conference matchup, and now let's get into the OPS pregame show. And Braxton, taking a look at the last time the Spartans came out to play, which was on Tuesday night when they dominated the Norwell Knights, cruising to an 80-42 victory that was led by an outstanding defensive effort.
Yeah, that defense was completely locked down, Noah, including when they had 20 forced turnovers, including 11 steals against Norwell.
Yeah, they were dominant all around in that game. And when you just look at Emma Roy's stat line there with 15 points, 11 assists, 8 rebounds, 5 steals, she certainly made an impact offensively as well. And it hasn't just been last game for the Spartans, but they have been dominant all throughout their first 4 games, as they now sit at a 4-0 record, and only one of those wins has been decided by less than 20 points.
Yeah, the Spartans have been off to a really hot start to start the year, and they have won their games by a combined 91 points.
Yeah, they have been hot for sure to start off this season. Just absolutely dominant. As you see there, Northridge, the closest game they've played so far this season, and that was a 5-point victory for the Homestead Spartans. And leading the effort on the season for the Spartans has been the Big Four of Allie Stevens, Molly Stock, Emma Royce, and Maya Epps, who are all averaging at least 9 points per game so far this season. But tonight, they will be without one of those seniors in Molly Stock.
Yeah, and what's been so impressive about this Spartan team, Noah, is their great use of young talent. And they'll need even more of it tonight with freshman Gabby Holsom starting due to Molly Stock being out tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the Spartans can do, starting 2 freshmen for what might be the first time in Coach Parker's tenure with the Homestead Spartans. And now, to turn our attention to the Spartans' opponent here tonight, the Concordia Cadets, as they got a nice bounce-back victory on Tuesday over East Noble to snap a 2-game losing streak.
Yeah, it was a great way for Concordia to bounce back with a 7-point win after 2 big losses to Belmont and Northrop.
Yeah, it was a great bounce-back victory for this Concordia Cadet squad after taking 2 just losses where they just got blown out of the water, especially against that very solid Northrop squad that they lost to 66-26. But then to be able to bounce back and get that close win over East Noble is huge for this Cadet squad to enter this game with a little bit of increased momentum. And the Cadets so far on the season are led by the trio of Lauren Goodman, Annika Nelson, and Olivia Bollinger, who combined for over 25 points per game and 14 rebounds per game.
Yeah, this trio has been absolutely lights out for the Cadets, but they're going to need even more from them tonight if they have a chance of upsetting the Spartans.
Yeah, they're going to need some big production from that trio here tonight to try and compete against one of the top teams in the state. We saw Lauren Goodman and Annika Nelson step up last game for the squad and the win, both achieving double digits. Lauren Goodman got 14 points. Annika Nelson got 11. They really stepped up big. They're going to have to do that here once again against this very talented Homestead Spartan squad. As we now take a look at the history of this matchup, the Homestead Spartans have controlled the series since joining the SAC, going 7-0 against Concordia since 2015.
Yeah, and what's so interesting is under Coach Rod Parker, the Spartans started this series 0-4. But as you mentioned, since 2015 when they joined the SAC, they are 7-0, and the Spartans look to make that 8-0 here tonight.
Yeah, the Homestead Spartans have just been absolutely dominant throughout this entire journey when they play against the Concordia Cadets in SAC play. They have just cruised past the Cadets, and just looking at the next game for the Homestead Spartans, just prematurely looking a little bit ahead. They play the Noblesville Knights, a very talented squad. They are currently ranked number 5 in the 4A top 10 and in the Coaches Association poll. So Noblesville is going to be a tough opponent for the Spartans tomorrow.
Yeah, but as I mentioned earlier, they can't be looking ahead too much to that game. Still a big conference clash with Concordia here tonight.
Yeah, it's going to certainly be interesting to see how this game here tonight goes. As when you look at the matchup last season, the Homestead Spartans were able to handle the Concordia Cadets easily, winning 81-22. Obviously, completely different teams this season, especially for the Homestead Spartans. Without last year's Indiana Miss Basketball, Ayanna Patterson, it's going to be fun to watch how these two teams collide here tonight.
Yeah, and Homestead has a lot of young talent, like you mentioned, that wasn't on this team last year. So it's going to be very interesting how they match up with a team they've never played before.
It's definitely going to be very interesting. And when you just look overall at the Homestead Spartans here tonight, to be without Molly Stock, who gave the Spartans 9.3 points per game on the season, along with shooting 38% from 3 and 83% from the free throw line, to be without here tonight could be a key factor.
Yeah, but what's so fortunate for these Spartans is that they have Gabby Helsum waiting in the wings as she gets set for her first start here tonight.
Yeah, Gabby Helsum is one of the freshmen that have really stepped up for this team, as they have 4 freshmen all on the varsity roster, with Maya Epps, who has averaged 12.5 points per game so far this season, along with Gabby Helsum, Whitney Ankenbrook, and Carly Mollering, who was brought up to the varsity roster just last game.
Yeah, and so far, Gabby Helsum is averaging 4 rebounds per game, and if she can do that again tonight, the Spartans will be in good shape.
Yeah, she has definitely had a big impact for the Spartans so far this season, averaging 4.8 points per game and the 4 rebounds like you were talking about. But here tonight, now being put into the starting lineup, Spartans might be expecting a little bit more production from her.
For sure, and they're going to need that tonight, but this is a great way to get into it. Like we mentioned, they have that big game with Noblesville tomorrow, but this is a great way to work her into the team, into the starting lineup to see how she can perform.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch all of these freshmen out there for the Homestead Spartans, as they have just been crucial for the Spartans trying to fill the void of last year's Miss Indiana Basketball, now playing at the collegiate level for the UConn Huskies. As this team has shown to be very talented, as they dominated their last opponent, Norwell, by winning by 38 points, and really a lot of that came from just forcing turnovers and getting out into transition and getting some easy buckets.
Yeah, and on top of the young talent, this team also has a lot of speed. We're going to see them try tonight, trying to play in transition, trying to get quick buckets and quick steals from this Concordia team.
Yeah, they definitely are going to try and get into transition, as that was a key in their last game, and it's really been a key all season long, forcing those turnovers and trying to get some transition buckets, as they have just been dominant in that transition all season long. As we are now going to send it down to sideline reporter Anthony Gery, who's alongside Coach Rod Parker.
Molly Stock, but in her place will be freshman Gabby Helsum making her first start. What do you hope to see out of her tonight?
Well, as expected, she's going to work hard, give us some great defense, help us on the boards. And, Gabby's she's a good scorer, so, she'll let the game come to her. She's had opportunities to play in her first 4 games. So I expect her to kind of step in and just play the way she knows how to play.
Thank you, Coach. Noah, back to you.
And thank you, Anthony. And it certainly will be interesting to see how Gabby Helsum steps up for the Spartans here tonight into the starting lineup for the first time in her young career.
And this is a great way to do a big game, conference clash, second conference clash of the season, second of 3 games this week. Cannot wait to see how she performs here tonight. It's
certainly going to be fun to watch how she performs in her first varsity career start and the absence of Molly Stock. As the clock is about to hit all zeros right here at Spartan Arena, we're going to be taking a short break, but when we come back, we'll give you your keys to the game and tip-off live from Homestead. You're watching Homestead Basketball right here on Homestead Live.
think your limits.
Ooh, I can't wait to get you home.
Ooh, I'm gonna eat you up when you go home. Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait. I'm just gonna bite you.
Oh, baby, that looks amazing. Marcos, pizza lovers get it.
And welcome back to Spartan Arena as the Homestead Spartans play host to the Concordia Cadets. And as we come back, we are going to be giving the starters for tonight's matchup, starting off with the Homestead Spartans starting 5, as Emma Royst is going to be in at guard, along with Maya Epps, Evie Bottoms, Allie Stevens, and Gabby Helsum. And we talked a whole lot about this. They're going to be without their usual starter, Molly Stock.
Yeah, and that's going to be big for the Spartans here tonight. But do not forget, this team has plenty of talent, and they will make up for what they have lost in Molly Stock tonight.
And for the Concordia Cadets, it's going to be Kaylin Bollinger, Michaela Richardson, Lauren Goodman, Kaylin Ortiz, and Annika Nelson rounding out the starting 5.
And for Concordia, watch out for Lauren Goodman. Their offense is going to try to run through her. And if they can do that, they have a chance in this game.
Yeah, Lauren Goodman, just a sophomore for this cadet team, but she has been the leading scorer so far this season, averaging 10 points per game. Annika Nelson also needs to come up big for this cadet squad, as so far on the season, she's averaged 8.8 points per game, along with 5.5 rebounds, which leads the team.
Yeah, and like you said, 5.5 rebounds, and basketball is more than just getting points. It's getting rebounds to help setting up your team for scoring more points throughout the game. And if they can get more rebounds, if they can crash on the boards, they have a good chance to win this game.
Yeah, it's going to be vital to their success to try and crash those boards. As we just look at these two starting lineups overall, just looking at the ages for these two teams, you see 2 seniors starting for Homestead, 2 freshmen, and a junior. As for the cadets, you're going to see a junior, or 2 juniors, a senior, and a sophomore.
Yeah, and both these teams have great diversity in their starting lineups, multi-class lineups starting today. Both of them have experienced players in their lineups, but they also have young talent that they can use at any given moment.
And now, just moments away from tip-off, we are going to be taking a look at our keys to the game for tonight's action. Starting off with the Concordia Cadets, what are your keys to tonight's action for them?
Well, for Concordia, they need to keep Homestead in front of you on defense. We know the Spartans want to get out and cause havoc and run, so you're going to have to slow them down. And they need to get off to a fast start. No one has been able to get up on Homestead by halftime. Put the pressure on the Spartans if they're behind in the second half.
And for the Homestead Spartans, what are their keys to the game?
They need to speed the game up. Homestead has shown everyone they want to get turnovers and layups, and you know they'll try that again tonight. And they also need to take advantage of their depth. Playing 12 or 13-year-olds a night will come in big tonight, as Concordia just can't match the Spartans' depth.
And now just moments away from tip-off here. As the ball's tipped around, Spartans control the tip. Helsum ended up with it. The freshman in her first career varsity start. As Epps going to angle into the basket and knock one down right away. An early 2-0 Spartan lead.
A great start for the Spartans, already going fast to get this game started, and with 2 points on the board.
As Kaylin Bollinger has it over there, sends a dangerous pass, almost goes out of bounds, but Harrison going to recover that one. Cadets just taking their time on this possession, looking for the best shot available as they're going to send it down low to Nelson. but just gets it stolen away by Emma Royst.
And we're going to see that a lot from Concordia tonight. While Homestead's going to be trying to speed the game up, Concordia is really going to want to slow it down and limit possessions for Homestead.
And that time we saw the Spartans trying to speed it up, as that's going to result in a jump ball possession favoring the Cadets right now, so they will take back possession. Like you were talking about, it's certainly going to be important for the Cadets to try and slow it down and not let this game get out of hand quick, as the Spartans just have been a team that have looked to get out quick all season long. As Ortiz attacks the basket, loses it. Emma Royce with a steal, attacking the basket herself, and then it's stolen away again.
Well, already we've seen 2 quick steals right there, one from each team, and that's something we could see a lot of tonight. It's still early season. Mistakes are going to be made, and a big part of this game is who's going to be able to limit those mistakes.
And now the Spartans with it themselves. Bottoms on that right side. And now Royce for a 3. That one rims out. Rebound tipped around. Cadets control it.
Well, so far we've seen Concordia doing a great job of being able to get defensive rebounds. They just haven't been able to get much going on the offensive side of the ball.
And man, Royce just looks like a steel magnet out there. The ball just keeps ending up in her hands defensively.
Yeah, we've seen that from her all season long, and again so far here tonight. We'll see if she can continue that as the game progresses.
And then a 3-pointer from Epps. No good. But yet another offensive rebound. Spartans have been crashing the glass hard so far here tonight. So they're taking their time, looking for a good shot on this possession. Epps puts that one up, but Royce, again, just runs right to the basketball. If that ball's loose or open, it seems like Royce is going to be there for it every single time for the Spartan squad.
Well, you already said it. She is a ball magnet. She is always trying to get to that ball, always trying to get the ball in her team's hands, because she knows if you have the ball, that's how you score.
I mean, she came up big for this team last game with 15 points, 11 assists, 8 rebounds, and 5 steals. Looking like she could do that again here tonight. As now Royce has it, guarded by Harrison. Sends it over to Bottoms. Now we're going to see Stevens posting up down low, and she's blocked. But all offensive rebound right away by Helsum. Stevens no good on that mid-range jump shot.
And even though Stevens got blocked, how about her grit to stick with it? She was able to get out to the wing. She was able to get a good shot off. It just wasn't quite able to fall.
Now Goodman, leading scorer for the Cadets, sends a dangerous pass, and another turnover for this Cadets offense.
We talked in the pregame show how great these Spartans are at causing turnovers, and they're already making their presence felt here tonight.
And once again, Stevens was blocked by Nelson on that attempt, as Epps puts it up for herself that time, extending the lead 7-0 for the Spartans. Cadets in need of a bucket. Harrison sending it down low to Nelson, puts it up, and that's going to be a foul on the floor on the freshman, Gabby Helsum. Clear foul that time, just shoved Nelson away, just knowing that a nice shot at the rim was available.
Yeah, now they look to be bringing Gabby Helsum out, but even though she's coming out right now, a great start so far for this game. 4 minutes in, and she already has 3 points.
Only 3-point make so far on the night for the Homestead Spartans was from freshman Gabby Helsum, as Goodman's going to attempt a 3-pointer of her own. No good.
We said Goodman was going to be key for this Cadets team, and they don't have a lot of offense going. It's forcing her to take shots like that.
Now we see Epps at the top of the key, guarded by Goodman. Feeding Sanaya Sandlin. That ball just sails out of bounds. Just couldn't connect there that time.
Yeah, and I like that idea from the Spartans trying to get to the post, but they just weren't quite able to do it right there.
I agree. That was a nice attempt to try and get a nice shot down low at the basket. And how about the start for the Homestead Spartans? Offensively, they haven't really done too much excellently, but they are sitting with a 7-0 lead. It's really been defensively. They've just shut down the Cadets, and it was the same story on Tuesday night when they played against the Norwell Knights.
Yeah, not just on Tuesday. This has been the story all season long. They set up their offense from defense, transition offense, and they've already started off here tonight. Like you said, they're not really getting super open on offense so far, but that defense has helped setting them up for offense.
Yeah, their defense has turned into offense all season long, and we've seen it once again. And we've said it multiple times already this broadcast, but Emma Royce, the ball magnet. whenever the ball seems like there's a steal or offensive rebound, Emma Royce is the one to do it for the Spartan squad.
And part of the reason she's able to get to the ball so much is her hustle. She is determined to get it into her hands. She wants the ball in her hands at all times.
Now Goodman is going to start it off for the Cadets out of the timeout. As we see Kaiser now send it out to Goodman. And then just a handoff goes out of bounds. That's a mistake the Cadets offense cannot afford to have.
Yeah, especially with how good this Spartans D has been. You cannot be making unforced errors like that.
And right now the Spartans only have 2 starters still on the court here, Emma Royce and Maya Epps. And then Brooklyn Freem, Sanaya Sandlin, and Whitney Ankenbrook have all came in off the bench. As Epps going to pull a 3-pointer. Splashes that one home. 10-0 now. Sparty's lead. 2 triples for the Spartans, both made by freshmen.
Maya Epps is absolute cash from behind the arc. We've seen her doing that all season long, and it'll be interesting to see if she can continue to do that through the night here.
And now a deep 3-pointer, and the Cadets answer. A deep 3 from Ortiz.
And that could be instrumental into getting the Cadets offense going. They've been struggling so far, but a big 3, you never know what could happen.
And now there's going to be a foul on the floor on Annika Nelson. She's been big so far tonight for this Cadet squad defensively. We've seen her block a couple of shots already. Going to be interesting to see if she can stay out of foul trouble with how aggressive she's been. So now Ankenbrook's going to pull a 3 of her own. No good. And the rebound's brought in by the Cadets, Nelson. Now moving across the timeline is going to be Hedke. Gives it over. And another 3 from Ortiz.
Hitting yet another 3, and now all of a sudden the Cadets are only down 4 points. They're right back in this game.
Ortiz stepping up big. Back-to-back triples. Cuts it down to just 4 as the ball's batted out of bounds, and it ends up off the Spartans.
And right there, it looked like a little bit of miscommunication from the Spartans, but now we're looking back at Ortiz's drained 3 to get 3 more points for the Concordia Cadets and bring them to 6 points.
And how about this? After being down 10-0, the Cadets have scored 6 straight and have possession. And now Brooklyn Freem gets the steal. Attacking the basket, a layup, and it's good.
There's that transition offense we're talking about. That is going to be pivotal for these Spartans throughout the year.
Brooklyn Freem able to get it that time. As Ortiz, already 2 triples, pump fakes. Sanaya Sandlin tries to bat it away. Pressure Ortiz far away. And then a blocking foul going to be called by Ankenbrook on the outside. And it looks like Ortiz no longer is going to be allowed any breathing room after knocking down those 2 triples.
Yeah, the Spartans are going to have to play a lot more aggressive on her. You do not want her getting open because she's shown already how great of a shooter she is, and the Spartans are going to have to try to lock her down any way they can.
Yeah, Ortiz with just 4 points per game on the season, but already with 6 so far in this first quarter. As Harrison sends it over to Reynolds, attacking, and Epps rebounds it, gives it over to Stevens. Now attacking herself in the transition and gets it to go off the glass. Stevens now up to 4 points on the night. As Harrison he's at the top of the key and just gives it up. And then Ortiz loses her footing and a foul is going to be called on the Spartans. That's already going to be their 3rd team foul.
Yeah, the Spartans are going to have to be careful here not to get into foul trouble. These last couple possessions, we've seen them playing really aggressive. And while that can lead to points on the offensive end, it also can lead to racking up fouls.
Yeah, with aggressive defense, there are many benefits and there are some negatives like you were talking about, as foul trouble could certainly become an issue if they continue to be so aggressive. As Harrison sends it in to Goodman. And now Ortiz, 2 triples on the night, just gives that one up. Over there to Richardson, attacking, and it's no good. Rebound brought in by Stevens. Now over to the left side. Ankenbrook a 3, rims out. Rebound then brought in by Bollinger of the Cadets. And now it's out to Reynolds. Now Goodman attacking the basket. No good. Rebound by the Spartans. Brooklyn Freem looking for a second bucket of the night. Cannot get it to drop, but a blocking foul is going to send her to the free throw line.
Great job by Brooklyn Freem to draw that contact there. Even though she didn't have the best angle for the shot, she was able to draw contact, and now she'll have 2 free throws coming up.
Now Brooklyn Freem to be shooting 2 free throws here. On the season, 50% from the line. She knocks in the first and extends the lead up to 9 for the Homestead Spartans. Outside of just the 6 points from Ortiz, this Cadets offense really hasn't seen much production at all.
One good thing for them, though, is Lauren Goodman is back in the game as she kicks it to Ortiz, who hits another bucket.
Ortiz, 3 triples already on the night. Came in averaging just 4 points a game. 9 already tonight as Sanaya Sandlin silences the Cadets really quick.
What a performance by Kaylin Ortiz so far tonight. She has been the entire Concordia Cadets offense, and we'll see if she's able to keep it going.
Ortiz that time is called for the travel, just a little bit too excited for another 3-pointer, as we're going to get a quick look at her last made 3-pointer there as she buried that one.
And as you see on your screen, she did such a great job of getting open, getting herself just enough space to get the shot up. She knows space is going to be at a premium throughout this game, and she's using what little space she can create to get shots off.
So now we have just 6.8 seconds remaining in this first quarter as Landrigan's going to send it into Epps. She's going to be pressured full court by Richardson. Now just 3 seconds. Epps attacking. Out to Landrigan. A 3-pointer will go in and count. At the buzzer, Claire Landrigan to take a 12-point lead, 21-9. Homestead Spartans lead at the break. What a 3 from Landrigan to bring us to the end of this first quarter.
You don't plan on getting an injury, so why should you plan ahead to care for one? At Orthostat, you don't have to. Whether you get hurt on the job or on the field, or if you're experiencing sudden, localized pain, we fix the unexpected. Our walk-in clinics provide emergency access to a full range of diagnostic, non-surgical, and surgical treatments. And the best part is, there's never an appointment or referral needed. So you can get in, get out, and get going. Orthostat is recognized by Anthem and other insurance plans as an alternative to the ER.
And welcome back to Spartan Arena as we will now send it down to sideline reporter Anthony Gery.
Thank you, Noah. And as you've already seen in the first quarter, a lot of the starters have come out. In fact, every single starter has come out for the Spartans at some point, and bench players have come in. This shouldn't be a surprise, as tomorrow the Spartans will have to travel down to Noblesville, a team they've struggled against in the past. The number 4 ranked team in the entire state right now. So Coach Barker trying to keep those starters nice and rested and giving some bench players a chance to prove themselves. As we saw in that last shot, Claire Landrigan doing her job right now.
And thank you, Anthony. And it certainly is going to be interesting to see what the Spartans do here tonight, just with such a highly anticipated matchup coming tomorrow. Noblesville, the only team the Spartan squad lost to last season. In fact, it has been 643 days since a team other than Noblesville has beaten this Spartan squad.
And this second quarter is going to be crucial for the Spartans, because if they're able to get up by a lot of points here in the second quarter, we're going to see them resting a lot of starters even more in the second half.
And now it's going to be a 3-second violation called on the Homestead Spartans. A turnover just 9 seconds into this second quarter. As overall for the Cadets in that first half, really outside of Ortiz 3-pointers, they had absolutely zero production, as that's a 3-point attempt to start off this second half second quarter from Olivia Bollinger.
Yeah, and even though that shot didn't fall, it shows a little bit of promise, because the Cadets haven't really been able to get shots off, period, so at least being able to get a shot up there gives them some hope for the future.
Claire Landrigan with the putback, just a 5'7" guard there, getting deep in the paint and getting the offensive rebound in the second chance opportunity.
Yeah, she's not someone we see down in the paint a whole bunch, but when Concordia is struggling to box out, she's able to get down there, get the rebound, and get the points.
And Landrigan, someone who did not score entering this ball game, already with 5 points here tonight. As we saw her hit that buzzer beater 3-pointer to end the first quarter, and then got those putback points, extending this lead up to 14 for the Homestead Spartans. Landrigan's going to take it across the timeline now. Royst sending it around. Spartans just trying to look for a good shot on this possession. Epps with a nice spin move, but then turns right into a defender, and a jump ball is going to be called as Olivia Bollinger was ready for that one.
Yeah, great D from Concordia. Homestead was doing good, moving the ball around on that possession, but Concordia just wasn't letting them get any space at all to put up a shot.
As we now see Goodman across the timeline, loses it. Landrigan with the steal in transition, looking for a third made basket of the night, and she gets it to go. Already 7 points on the night. Entered the ball game with 0 points on the season, and she's just 2 points shy of matching the Cadets total. Goodman trying to get past Epps, attacking the basket. Wow, what a defensive play from Epps there, putting perfect body position and then just knocking that shot attempt out of bounds.
Yeah, and with Ortiz on the bench right now, Goodman's trying to put the team on her shoulders, and she just can't quite finish at the hoop. She's driving, she's trying everything she can. There just seems to be a lid on that hoop for her right now.
So now Richardson to send it in. Down low to Nelson. A fadeaway shot there. Does not drop, goes out of bounds, and the Spartans right away get possession back here. As Homestead has just played great defense all around, really not allowing any good shot opportunities, and Ortiz still the only one to score for the Cadets as she knocked down 3 first-quarter triples. As the Cadets now look to be in a zone defense here, a 2-3 front. As Roy's going to take a 3. Offensive rebound there from Stevens. Stevens with another offensive rebound, puts it up and does not get it to go, but was fouled. Will be shooting 2 free throws, and really we've seen a whole bunch of offensive rebounds so far from the Spartan squad.
And that's been a big part of this game so far. Homestead has scored so many second chance points, and even if they don't score, they draw fouls like this, and Allie Stevens has a couple coming from the line.
That first free throw rolled off the rim. Stevens been a great free throw shooter so far on the season, 88% from the line, as the second free throw will drop. She's now up to 5 points on the night. That's Goodman going to take it across the timeline herself. Now over to Nelson, who's going to attack the basket on Royst. Royst almost got a block, but she's going to be blown for the whistle there. She thought that one was clean, but the officials say otherwise, sending Nelson to the line for 2.
Yeah, and even though that's going to be called a foul right there, you have to appreciate the hustle, trying to get to that ball and trying to get her team the ball back.
First free throw will be good for Annika Nelson, who shot just 43% from the line on the season, but that first one looked pure, getting nothing but nylon.
And now for Concordia, they finally have someone who has scored besides Ortiz here tonight. Maybe this is what they need to get this team going.
Second free throw smooth as well. Now gets the Cadets up to 11 on the night. Nelson with her first 2 points of the game. As the starters are back out on the court for the Homestead Spartans here with 5:20 left in the second quarter. Epps, the guard, attacking. Gets herself double teamed. Now over to Royst. A 3-pointer for her. Won't go. Rebound. A foul's going to be called on the rebound there on the Homestead Spartans, so it's going to be going to the Cadets. Foul called on the freshman Gabby Helsum there. Now Richardson for the Cadets. Picks up her dribble there. Ortiz. 3 3-pointers made on the night. Doesn't attempt one there. Gives it up to Richardson. Now attacking the basket. As a jump ball is going to be called. And that's yet another play for this Homestead Spartans defense where they have just been doing great. Another example right there.
Yeah, another great play from this Homestead Spartans defense, but also yet another jump ball. We see how both these teams are going for the ball so hard, and we've already seen several jump balls here tonight.
Certainly these teams are fighting hard for that ball here tonight, trying to get into this one. As Royce just has that one fall way short, or a little short there in front of the rim, and it's going to end up Cadet ball.
And as she comes out of the game, how about that hustle from freshman Gabby Hosum, trying everything she can to get that rebound and keep the ball in her team's possession.
And now the Cadets trailing by 15 points here, almost halfway into the second quarter, certainly in the need of a run to try and get back into this one. Ortiz hands it off to Nelson. Now Nelson gets it right back down low as Bottoms comes in with a double team. Ball comes loose. Everyone's going down on the floor for it. Nelson ends up with it, puts it up and in. Drops it home for her 4th points of the night.
What a play to stick with it and be able to get a couple points out of that. What a great play from this Concordia team.
They have been showing some fight here, even though they are trailing by 13 halfway through the second quarter. As Ankenbrook has it in the right corner, she's going to be called for a travel there with the pump fake, just shuffled her feet.
She saw the wide open hoop, but she just got a little excited. She tried to get there as quick as she could, and she just shuffled her feet a little bit too much before she dribbled.
So now the Cadets have it with Richardson in between the circles. Giving it out top of the key now. Cadets really just taking their time on this possession. As Richardson pulls up and loses it, but then Cadets get it right back, and now the Spartans take it over. Epps driving inside, pulls up, and that's long. But a great offensive rebound attempt from Sydney Freeman. That's going to be called a jump ball there, as Richardson was also reaching in for that one.
And yet another jump ball being called. These teams have both been playing really aggressively, trying to get possession of that ball. As now we see Richardson coming out for Concordia and Goodman coming in.
And we also are going to be seeing Nelson heading off to the bench and Olivia Bollinger coming in. As Goodman, leading scorer on the season for the Cadets, sends it over to the corner to Kaiser. But then sends a pass that's stolen away. Ankenbrook speeding it up for the Spartans. Now Epps, top of the key. Royce attacking. Out to Ankenbrook. A three-pointer, no good. But she is fouled on that one, and she landed kind of awkwardly there.
Yeah, good news is she looks to be all right. But how about that ball movement from the Spartans? Not settling for bad shots, just waiting till they could get an open one. And they missed that shot, able to draw a foul and keep possession of the ball.
Just too aggressive of a closeout there from Sella Kaiser. As Epps will take the inbound now for the Spartans, as they are doubling up the Cadets. Up 13, as the Cadets have 13 here. No good on that attempt from Whitney Ankenbrook here, as the Cadets look to try and answer, as Bollinger puts up a three, no good. Rebound brought in by Royce. Now Ankenbrook, jab step, goes inside the arc. That one's long. Rebound tipped around. Goodman saves it. Cadets certainly going to be looking for some points here, trying to cut into that lead before heading into the locker room.
Yeah, and they're only down 13 right now. If they can get this down to single digits before the half, they are very much still in this game.
So they're going to get a pull-up three-pointer there from Kaiser, who cannot get that one to fall. A little bit of surprise here in the second quarter, as we haven't seen any attempts from Ortiz, who made three-pointers in that first quarter.
Both offenses have slowed down a little bit here in the second quarter, and we're going to see after the break if they're able to speed their offenses back up.
And now we're going to be taking a short break, but we'll be right back with more Homestead Concordia as the Spartans lead 28-13 over the Cadets. And welcome back to Spartan Arena as the Homestead Spartans lead 28-13 over the Concordia Cadets with 1:44 remaining in this first half. The Cadets trailing by 15. What do you think they need to do in this last 1 minute and 44 seconds to try and cut into that lead entering the break?
I think they're going to need to be very aggressive. They don't need to try to get all this back in 1 or 2 possessions because you know that's not possible. They need to try to get the lead down to under 10 before halftime, and if they can do that, they are right in this game. And if they do that coming out of halftime, they'll just be a couple buckets away from tying this game up.
So now with under 2 minutes remaining in the first half, Nelson with it for the Cadets, guarded by Stevens. Now Goodman. Now Bollinger gonna pull a 3, leaves it short. Rebound, tipped around and controlled by Stevens of the Spartans.
Another great rebound from these Homestead Spartans.
Now Landrigan sends it left side over to Stevens. Now Sandlin top of the key. Right side Landrigan. Down low to Stevens as a jump ball will be called once again. We might have a record for jump balls in a single half, as we have seen a whole bunch of those here, as this one's going to stick with the Spartans.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, no, I've never seen so many jump balls in my life. Most games don't have this many jump balls, let alone one half.
As Sandlin going to attack the basket strong there and bodies up and scores.
Great movement down in the post, using her body to get down to the hoop and put it in.
Now Nelson with it. Under a minute left, sends a dangerous pass out of bounds. Spartans with it right back. Up 17, 50 seconds left in the first half.
And it looks like a little bit of miscommunication from Concordia there. They're just pressing a little bit too hard. Like we said earlier, they got to slow things down. 17 points, you still don't have to rush into things. Slow it down a little bit. Play your game. Don't fall into Homestead's trap.
As Landrigan sends a pass out of bounds. Right back for the Cadets. Now, 40 seconds remain in this second quarter. Goodman on the Sparty logo. Over to Olivia Bollinger now. Sandlin goes for the steal as that ball goes loose. Goodman ends up with it for the Cadets. 20 seconds now remain. Attacking the basket. Puts up a floater. Leaves it short. Sandlin hauls in the rebound.
Sandlin's been everywhere for the Spartans these last couple minutes as they kick the ball out and drains a 3.
Gabby Helsum's second triple of the night now. 33-13 Spartans lead. 5 seconds remain. Goodman sends it left side. A chucked up three-pointer from Bollinger. Cannot drop. As that will bring us to halftime as the Homestead Spartans lead 33-13. We're going to send it down to our sideline reporter, Anthony Gery, who is with Coach Rod Parker.
Thank you, Noah. And, Coach, it wasn't the cleanest of first halves, but you're able to get out to a decent lead. What do you have to clean up in the second half?
Well, we had to execute better on the offensive end. I mean, defensively, we did a pretty good job. Offensively, we were slow. We were kind of stagnant, didn't move the ball as well as we need to. So we're going to have to clean that up a little bit in the second half and become more efficient.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck. Noah?
And thank you, Anthony. And what a first half performance overall from this Homestead Spartan squad, as we are now going to be taking a break, but we will be back with the OPS halftime report.
Jumper up. He got
Welcome back to Spartan Arena. As the Youth Spartan League is currently being recognized at halftime here, we are going to be discussing the ball game here being played, though, the Homestead Spartans versus Concordia Cadets. What a performance overall in the first half by the Spartans, taking a 20-point lead.
Well, first off, look how cool it is. You see all these young kids out here enjoying the game of basketball, and who knows, maybe there's some future Spartans on this court. But anyways, back to the game here tonight. It's been a great first half for Homestead, especially that second quarter. Things were tight in the first quarter a little bit, especially with Concordia being able to hit some big threes, but Homestead was able to pull away, especially late in that second quarter.
And now let's take a look at the team stats from the first half of play, as the Homestead Spartans just dominated that first half. They shot 42% from the field, and the number one thing, when you look at the differential here, the number one thing that's glaring out to me, 13 rebounds for Homestead, 3 rebounds for the Cadets.
Yeah, absolutely a big part of this game. Also see Homestead has 2 less turnovers so far in this game, and that's a big part of how they've been able to get the ball to the hoop and get it into the hoop for some points.
It certainly has been huge with the turnover differential and the rebounds. And really, when we're looking at the individual player stats, Claire Langigan was 7 for the Spartan squad, someone who entered the game with 0 points on the season. Maya Epps, a freshman, also has 7. And then the third leading scorer is Gabby Helsum, also a freshman, with 6 points. They have certainly stepped up big here tonight in the absence of Molly Stock.
Yeah, especially Gabby Helsum, who was filling in for Molly Stock. She has been absolutely phenomenal tonight. So have those other 2 that you mentioned in Maya Epps and Claire Landrian. And it'll be interesting to see how much they play in the second half with that big game at Noblesville tomorrow.
Yeah, big game against the top 5 team in the state. The only team to beat the Homestead Spartans this season, or not yet played them this season, but last season the only team to beat the Homestead Spartans. And now let's take a look at some football score updates around the area, as there are some interesting games going on. Currently, the Carroll Chargers leading the Hamilton Southeastern Royals 7-0, and we also see Valparaiso and Snyder tied up at 0 in the second quarter.
Well, that Carroll game really sticks out to me. Our very own Summit Athletic Conference team beating the number 1 team in the state 7-0 in the second quarter.
And the Chargers in that game were able to strike early, getting a 70-yard completion all the way down the field and then scoring after just being 1 yard shy of the end zone. The Chargers, we saw them all football season just dominate SAC play. There were some questions if they'd be able to continue that into the postseason in 6A, such a hard division to try and compete against, but they have been able to do it so far, and now just 2 wins away from a state title. They're currently leading the Royals, a team that knocked out the Homestead Spartans football team 7-0, and with a sophomore quarterback at that. It's fun. It's been fun to watch the Chargers all year long.
Yeah, and if there were any doubts this Carroll team is a legit contender for the state title, those have been put to bed tonight. As you mentioned, just 2 wins away from a state title and currently leading in the second quarter.
And then just looking at the girls basketball score updates, as Wayne and Southside play here tonight. A team, Homestead, already beat the Wayne Generals. They won over Southside 72-59. And then looking at other out-of-conference games, Jay County leading over Belmont 18-14 in the second quarter, and Norwell leading over Blackhawk 27-12 in the second quarter.
Yeah, and that Wayne Southside game was really high scoring. Wayne winning by 13, but putting up 72 points. And Southside, even though they lost the game, they were able to put up 59 points.
Yeah, it was certainly interesting to see that, as the Homestead Spartans were able to beat the Wayne Generals 27 points just 6 days by 27 points just 6 days ago. And overall, it's been, as we see a score update right here live, the Snyder Panthers just scored a touchdown and lead over Valparaiso 7-0 here in the second quarter.
And now 2 teams from the Summit Athletic Conference are leading their semi-state games. We could see 2 teams from Summit Athletic Conference, maybe even 3 if Bishop Lures can win in the state title games next week.
That certainly would be fun to watch, as the SAC has had a great season in the postseason. And now let's take a look at tomorrow's girls basketball schedule, looking at some other games around the area, as the Carroll Chargers, a rival for the Homestead Spartans, plays at Carmel. We saw the Homestead Spartans dominate against the Carmel Greyhounds. Going to be interesting to see how the Chargers do against the Greyhounds.
Yeah, definitely going to be interesting to see how they do. But come on, that game at 6:30 tomorrow night, Homestead at Noblesville, easily the biggest game of the night, and I cannot wait to see how it plays out.
Another big game on the schedule is Snyder at North Central. That's going to be a Panther at Panther matchup. Can't wait to watch the Panthers go against the Panthers.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game. Two teams that are very aggressive, like Panthers, attacking the ball. It'll be interesting to see how they match up with each other.
Yeah, they have just been great squads all year long. And overall, we've talked about it a lot already this broadcast. Homestead at Noblesville. Noblesville, the only team that was able to beat Homestead last season, beat them twice, both in the regular season and the postseason. It's going to be interesting to see if the Spartans can avenge that loss tomorrow at 6:30.
Yeah, and you know this is a big revenge game from the Spartans, especially from the juniors and seniors that had to go through those losses last year. You know they do not want to lose to Noblesville again.
Yeah, all of the normal starters except Maya Epps experienced that loss last season, and that loss was absolutely brutal, really, for the Homestead Spartans. When in the regional, we saw Noblesville take a 14-0 lead in just minutes. As we get another score update for a football game, as Hamilton Southeastern now scores 6 points, a touchdown with a missed extra point, and that cuts the lead to just 1 for the Carroll Chargers in that highly anticipated semi-state matchup.
Yeah, that game has been pretty nuts so far, but the Carroll Chargers still holding that 1-point lead over Hamilton Southeastern. We'll see if they can maintain it throughout the rest of that game.
And now with that, we will be taking a short break, but we'll be back with second half action here from Spartan Arena as the Homestead Spartans lead 33-13 over the Concordia Cadets at the break.
Southwest Allen County Schools is our home. Home to dedicated staff, passionate teachers, and a generous community that values and supports education. We believe our culture of learning embraces change, flexibility, and innovation. We believe our schools serve as the hub of our diverse community. We value hard work, attention to craft, and tenacity. We ask questions, share ideas, and work together to find new ways to do new things, great things, for our students, for our district, and for our community. In partnership with parents, we believe learning encompasses critical thinking, creative thinking, collaboration, communication, citizenship, and resiliency. We take pride in our successes and share in our accomplishments. We are Southwest Allen County Schools, preparing today's learners for tomorrow's opportunities.
And now, welcome back to Spartan Arena as the Homestead Spartans lead over the Concordia Cadets 33-13 as we are now just moments away from the start of second half action. How about these Homestead Spartans? They have just absolutely dominated this ball game so far. And the leading scorer, a bit of a surprise, Claire Langigan, 7 points in that first half, entered the game with 0 points scored on the season.
Yeah, and speed has really been the difference from these Spartans. They're able to get out ahead of the Cadets, and they just can't quite keep up with them.
Ortiz, a three-pointer, just short. Ortiz had 3 three-pointers in the first quarter for the Concordia Cadets, but could not get that one to fall. As the Spartans now attacking the basket, an offensive foul, a charge, going to be called on Maya Epps. Nice job there by Lauren Goodman, just accepting the contact and drawing the foul.
Well, great job drawing the foul, but I think we're already seeing what Concordia's plan is going to be for the second half. get the ball to Ortiz, and have her shoot some threes because they're bound to fall eventually.
And now we see Nelson out there on that left wing. Goodman attacking, sends it out over there to Bollinger, who knocks down the triple. That was Kaylin Bollinger knocking down that one. Her first bucket of the night. As Epps now on the right side gives it down to a cutting Stevens, who gets it to drop. That rolled all around the rim and fell in. 35-16, Spartans lead.
We've seen Allie Stevens trying to do that all night long, and she was finally able to make it work.
Stevens now up to 7 points on the night, matching Maya Epps and Claire Landrigan for the leading score, as that three-point attempt's long for Bollinger, couldn't get two straight to fall. Now Stevens, a pump fake, sacking the basket, and it's blocked by Nelson. Annika Nelson with another block. She has been very aggressive on defense and has made a lot of big plays for this Cadets team.
Yeah, great job by Nelson there. She didn't let the pump fake fool her. She was able to get back to Stevens and block the ball.
Now Stevens attacking the basket. Layup, that one hits the bottom of the rim, and now it's going to go away, brought in by Richardson of the Cadets. Now pushing the pace, sends it out to Bollinger. Back over to Richardson, attacking the basket. That one swatted away by Allison Stevens. Now on the ground is Emma Royce and Nelson with it. And guess what? Another jump ball. We saw a whole bunch of those in the first half, and there's another one.
Well, arguably the two most aggressive players on each team there, going and creating a tie-up. And yeah, like you said, Noah, yet another jump ball in this game.
So now just under 2 minutes into this first half. So far, the Cadets have actually outscored the Spartans 3-2. As Epps now going to take it across the timeline. Bottoms, back to Epps. Now Landrigan, a three-pointer, bang! From Claire Landrigan. Now up to 10 points on the night. Entered this game with 0 points on the season as Ortiz pulls it up, and that one was left short, then went over the backboard. That one couldn't fall. Ortiz, she was hot in the first quarter, but hasn't had anything fall for her since.
Well, as you guys are seeing in the replay, Claire Landrigan continuing to make her presence felt. And like you said, she's already up to 10 points, and we're just a few minutes into the second half.
As we now see Helsum give it over to Landrigan on that right side. Now Brooklyn Freem down low. Now on the left wing, freshman guard Epps. Out to the other freshman, Helsum, and knocks down another triple. Gabby Helsum in her first career start, now up to 9 points in the ball game.
And the three ball is falling like crazy for Homestead right now. They can't seem to miss from beyond the arc.
It certainly is dropping trays right now, the Homestead Spartans, as Olivia Bollinger answers with a 2. Her first bucket of the night.
Yeah, very nice move from Bollinger there to be able to get some points.
And another jump ball. This time it's going to go to Concordia. As we see that triple that was knocked in by Gabby Helsum just a few possessions ago. Helsum has really stepped up big in the absence of Molly Stock here tonight with 3 triples. Is Landrigan going to be pushing the pace, puts it up and in. Landrigan up to 12 points now on the night.
And I got to say, Noah, this might be the single best performance we've seen from a Homestead player so far this year. Already up to 12 points, and she's been doing more than just shooting. She's been getting rebounds, getting steals. She's been everywhere tonight.
And now on the right corner is going to be Bollinger for 3. No good. Rebound brought in by Landrigan. So now Epps sends a pass just off of Brooklyn Freem's foot there. I think that was intended to go to Helsum. Freem just ended up getting in the way.
Yeah, a little miscommunication there. She didn't see the ball coming in, hit her foot.
So now the Cadets trying to get back into this one. Trailing by 25, halfway through this third quarter. Nelson in the corner, guarded by Freem. Pulls up for a tray ball long. Rebound brought in by Helsum.
And even though that three did not fall for Nelson, you have to admire the confidence there as she put that three up, and she was so confident it was going to fall, and it came so close to going in.
Now Stevens going to be checking in for Gabby Helsum, as Maya Epps was just called for a double dribble on that last play. And Coach Rod Parker going to be calling a timeout here, as we are now going to be taking a look at some scores around the area, as there are some important semi-state games going on in action right now, as the Carroll Chargers still leading over the Hamilton Southeastern Royals 7-6, and the Snyder Panthers still holding a 7-0 lead over Valpo in that second quarter.
Yeah, not much has changed since our last update of scores here, but it is interesting to see that Carroll is holding that lead. They're not letting Hamilton Southeastern get by them, and that's going to be the key to victory for Carroll.
Yeah, Hamilton Southeastern has been a dominant team all season long, very similar to Carroll, both two 12-0 teams that really just absolutely played phenomenal games when they played the Homestead Spartans. As we're now going to see Richardson taking it across as Epps gets a steal for Homestead. Now, quickly, the Spartans go down, and Brooklyn Freeman easily gets it in for two. Claire Landrigan with a court vision to set that one up.
What a pass from Claire Landrigan, continuing to make her presence felt in this game. Like we said earlier, she has been everywhere for the Spartans team.
And now Bollinger going to throw up a three. No good. Rebound by Claire Landrigan. She's been everywhere. As Epps now going to send a pass to Stevens, who goes out of bounds as that pass was just a little long there.
Yeah, a good pass from Maya Epps. Stevens' foot just barely hit the line. But again, great transition offense there from the Spartans. That's what they've been doing all night long, and it's continuing to work. And that's why they keep going back to it. I am going to be interested to see here, you know, a lot of starters are still in. So are they going to start pulling some of these starters into this game to rest for tomorrow?
As we now see Richardson start attacking the basket. Ball stripped away, stolen by Epps. And then Richardson called for a foul there, trying to get it back. Like you were talking about, Braxton, we have seen some starters come off of the bench, but are starting to come back out on the floor with Emma Royce and Stevens on the court. It's going to be interesting to see how much playing time these starters get for the rest of the ball game, knowing that tomorrow night they're going to be playing a top 5 team in the state, Noblesville.
Yeah, and it's so crucial getting experience for these younger players. It's not just about rest for your starters. You want your younger players to get experience, and there's no better way to do that than in live game action.
And with 4 freshmen on this roster, you are certainly correct. Trying to get those younger players extra varsity experience is always going to be a valuable asset, as that will just increase the overall depth of this team with more experience.
Yeah, we've seen 2 of those freshmen that started here tonight, and Maya Epps and Claire Landrigan. But yeah, the other 2, they need that experience. They need the work. They are very talented. They just need to put everything together, and pretty soon they will be starters as well.
Yeah, we've seen Whitney Ankenbrook have some playing time so far here tonight. In fact, she even put up a three-pointer, but just hasn't got anything to fall yet tonight. But we have not seen Carly Mollering come off the bench yet for the Spartans. The last freshman not to get playing time yet tonight. As Brooklyn Freeman's first free throw is up and in. That now puts her up to 7 points on the night. Just 1.8 points per game on the season. Entering this one, as we're now going to be taking a quick look at another score update. As the Carroll Chargers just scored once again, they are now going to be up 14-6 over the Hamilton Southeastern Royals.
I'm going to be honest, I didn't see this coming. Carroll up 8 right now in the second quarter. I think they're starting to shock a lot of people. And, 1 win away from being in that big state title game in Indy.
And now Nelson with yet another block. Just sent that one right off of the head as Stevens out of bounds. Cadets get the ball back.
I'll tell you what, Annika Nelson has been my favorite player to watch play tonight. She plays with so much grit and determination. She's talented, too. She's put up some good shots. they've just been struggling to fall, but they haven't been bad shots. Just unlucky bounces, and she's been everywhere trying to get rebounds and steals.
And you were just talking about some grit and determination. How about that determination there from Kaiser, who missed the first shot attempt, followed her own shot, got it back, put it up, drew the foul, and now will be shooting 2 free throws.
And I'm glad to see that even as Concordia is trailing by 29 right now, they're not giving up. There's still so much fight in these young ladies, and that's so great to see here.
It certainly is, as that first free throw is not going to be able to drop. It's the first free throw miss of the season for Kaiser. Second free throw is good. So now it's going to be a 19 points for the Cadets on the night, as the Spartans are going to turn it over there. Just almost being too casual there, leading to a turnover.
Yeah, and that's something when you're out big like this, you can't get casual like that. Those are things that later in the season, when you're playing bigger games against teams that are more competitive with you, you know, you can't be making those mistakes. So, yeah, they're up 28 right now. It's not going to affect this game that much. But those are things you don't want later in the season.
And you're saying later in the season, even tomorrow, you don't want those mistakes when you play against a top 5 team in the state in Noblesville.
100%. Noblesville is a top 5 team, and they're really good. But as you see on your screen, the Spartans are number 7. They're both really good teams, and they're so similar. They're so competitive. They're so very talented. It's going to be limiting mistakes that's going to be the key to that game.
And now with 1:40 left in this third quarter, we're going to see Brooklyn Free miss that first free throw attempt. The Spartans have just been dominating all throughout this ball game, now up by 28 points here. That second free throw will fall. Spartans lead now up to 29 on the night. Goodman gets it across the timeline. Now we're going to see Nelson with a pump fake. Attacking the basket, puts it up and drops it in. Annika Nelson has been playing a great game here tonight for the Cadets.
And there's that grit we were talking about just a little bit earlier, Noah. She's playing her heart out right now. She's having a good game too. It's not like it's not like she's doing bad. She's playing a great game, and we'll see if she can keep it up as we head into the final 9 minutes.
And the ball's going to be stolen away now from Lauren Goodman. The leading scorer for the Cadets on the season puts up that layup and cannot get it to drop. Goodman has had a great year so far, but scoreless still here tonight. As Sandlin going to use her size down low, and she's fouled. Olivia Bollinger committed the foul, and Sandlin will go to the line for 2 free throws.
Great job there by Sanaya Sandlin drawing the foul, but Homestead's starting to look they're starting to struggle a little bit on offense. You know, they're turning the ball over a little bit more than they would like, and you got to clean that up. You cannot have that happening, even in a big win like what it looks like it's going to be a big win here tonight.
As Sandlin will knock down that first free throw, 100% from the line on the season. Second free throw, rims out. First miss on the year.
You just had to jinx her, Noah. 100% until that shot.
As now under a minute remains in this third quarter. We're going to see Kaylin Bollinger pull up mid-range. No good. Rebound brought in by Olivia Bollinger. Then gives it out to Kaylin. Now back to Olivia Bollinger. 30 seconds remain. Cadets probably looking for the last shot here, trailing by 28. Now out to Nelson with a pump fake and a drive, and a foul will be called on that one. A blocking foul on Sanaya Sandlin.
Great job by Annika Nelson being able to draw the contact. She is not afraid. She is seeking out that contact, trying to draw a foul against these Homestead Spartans.
Goodman now going to take the inbound, hoist up a 3. Rebound brought in by Sandlin. 10 seconds remain now. Spartans got to go quick. Stevens sends it down low, tipped out of bounds by Goodman. Now 5.7 seconds remain. Spartans with under 6 seconds left to try and extend this lead even more.
And how about that D from Goodman as she was able to knock it away? We've seen her struggle on offense a little bit here tonight, kind of surprisingly, but she's been doing great on defense.
Now Royst attacking the basket, puts up a layup and drops it in off the glass. And that will bring us to the end of this third quarter as Emma Royce gets two there. We're now going to send it down to sideline reporter Anthony Gery.
Thank you, Noah. And changes are happening every single day here at Homestead. In fact, ever since the home game last Tuesday, there already was another change to the decor outside of the arena. All former Homestead All-Stars and star athletes have had their jerseys hung up outside the arena, as well as a brand new Spartan Spirit store that is actually opened just in this second half. The changes are really awesome, and you can just tell, like, with the entire arena behind me, that it is one of the best places to watch a basketball game in Indiana, and outside the decorations are coming in slowly and surely. By the end of the season, this certainly will be the best place in the state of Indiana to watch a basketball game.
And thank you, Anthony. And this certainly is one of the best venues in the state of Indiana. Just the modern mecca of high school basketball, as the Homestead Spartans now leading by 30 points in this brand new Spartan Arena.
Yeah, and it's so cool, that kind of wall of fame type things they set up out there for former players. So cool to see them honoring these former players that have been so good for the Homestead Spartans.
It is very cool to see all of those all-stars put up onto that wall and being honored for their high school athletic achievements. As we saw last year's Indiana Miss Basketball jersey hung up on that wall, Ayanna Patterson, who was instrumental for this team last season. As Stevens now going to start off this fourth quarter by sending it into Epps. Cadets applying a pressure here. Now Sandlin gets it down low with a nice post shot there.
Sandlin has been doing amazing today coming off the bench. She's posting up, and she's just dominating down low.
We've seen a lot of Spartans who haven't got much scoring going this season step up and get some big points here in this one, helping this Spartan squad get this 32-point lead. As we have just 25 seconds into this fourth quarter, we're going to see Hillary Adams check in for Maya Epps. Senior guard coming in off the bench. Just 1.8 points per game on the season. Hasn't missed a shot all season. As that ball is going to be tipped away by Richardson. And now it's going to end up with Sandlin. A nice spin move and a nice bucket off the glass. Sanaya Sandlin coming up big tonight.
What a move by Sanaya Sandlin. Unbelievable spin move to get two more points for these Homestead Spartans and 2 more points for herself down low.
And how about the youth of this squad? They have 4 freshmen, 2 sophomores, Sanaya Sandlin, one of them. We've seen that youth come up big with a whole lot of buckets tonight.
Yeah, and this is a team that is so talented. But even looking to the future, this team has so much talent on their roster, and it'll be interesting to see how good they can be for years to come.
This team certainly has a bright future, as that's going to be a foul there. Once again, we saw Nelson go away with the shot block, but the foul will be called this time. And really, with how young this roster is, it is crucial to see how this team has just already played so great this year. The sky's really the limit for them all season long.
Yeah, this Spartans team has been absolutely amazing. As we see Allie Stevens put up a free throw there, and it'll fall for another point for the Homestead Spartans.
And the Spartans have been playing great here, as they are now up by 34 points. As Richardson, now going to send it down low over to Nelson. That ball's now going to go out of bounds. Cadets will retain possession. And now Bollinger looking to send it in for the Cadets. Sends it in over to Olivia Bollinger, who's swatted away by Sanaya Sandlin.
Tell you what, Sanaya Sandlin has been really fun to watch, especially in the second half. She is really showing out.
Now Maya Epps attacking the basket. Rebound brought in by Goodman. Goodman now attacking the basket of their own, and that shot no good. Spartans now trying to speed it up themselves. Bottoms with it down low. Back over to Epps. Bottoms then sends it out to Helsum for a three. Rims out. Rebound brought in by Goodman. A 34-point Spartan lead here. 35 points would enact the mercy rule. As we're going to get a whistle here. Nelson was hit on the head on that drive to the rim. And she will now be shooting 2 free throws.
And how about the strength of this young lady? We mentioned it earlier. She is not afraid to seek out contact. She's doing everything she can to try to get to the line.
First free throw is long that time. 43% shooter on the season. Couldn't get that one to drop. Spartan still holding on to that 34-point lead. As that last foul on Sanaya Sandlin was her 3rd of the night and the Spartans' 5th of the half.
Yeah, but even with those 3 fouls, she has earned the right to stay in this game with how well she is playing.
As that pass is now going to be stripped away by Olivia Bollinger. Going full speed ahead, puts up a layup high off the glass. No good. And now the ball is going to be tipped out of bounds by Nelson. Spartans are going to be keeping possession here as we have 5:30 remaining in this 4th quarter. The Spartan squad only has 2 starters still out on the floor right now. And that's a big storyline as they will be playing the Noblesville Millers tomorrow.
And on that play right there, Hillary Adams just ran right around the defense. They didn't seem to have a clue what was going on there as she drove to the hole and got 2 points.
And now let's take a look at some score updates around the area as we have seen a very interesting semi-state slate here in football as 3 SAC squads are all competing in semi-state. The Carroll Chargers still holding on to a lead over the Hamilton Southeastern Royals. The Chargers up 14-12 after the Royals scored a touchdown and failed a 2-point conversion attempt.
Yeah, and you see on your scoreboard right there, 2 SAC teams are currently leading their semi-state games. Carroll obviously beating Hamilton Southeastern 14-12, and then Snyder is currently beating Valparaiso 7-0 at the half.
And it's interesting to see Andrean leading over Bishop Lures 14-3 in that first quarter up in Andrean. As it's going to be fun to continue to look at those scores from around the SAC as we're going to be taking a look at the girls basketball scores as Norwell, a team with the Spartans dominated on Tuesday, is cruising over Blackhawk Christian 64-20 in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, that's a bit of a surprise. Blackhawk Christian only putting up 20 points so far in the 4th quarter, but Norwell's playing a good game tonight, and it shows on the scoreboard.
And now back into this 4th quarter action from Spartan Arena as Olivia Bollinger gives it over to Nelson in that corner for a 3 long. Offensive rebound tipped around. And now Kaylin Bollinger gives it over to Nelson. Now over on the left side, a 3-pointer short. Now back out to Nelson. Now Goodman has it. And now a 3-pointer drops in. As the Homestead Spartans are leading by 32 points here with 4:30 remaining in the 4th. Gabby Helsum, a 3-pointer, splashes home.
The young freshman showing up once again when her team needs her.
And the Spartans holding a 35-point lead enacts the mercy rule, so the clock will keep on ticking in this one. Even with that foul there, the clock going to keep on rolling. And Gabby Helsum, we've talked about it a lot this game. Molly Stock out this game. Gabby Helsum filled in that role for her, and she's up to 12 points now on the night. 4 3-pointers.
Yeah, Gabby Helsum has done an exceptional job filling in for Molly Stock. And I'll tell you what, we don't know how long Molly Stock's going to be out, but they're in good hands while she is gone.
It's certainly been a great performance from the freshman, stepping up big here. Now with 3 minutes remaining in this 4th quarter, we're going to see Freem down low. Gets that one to drop in off the glass. Spartans still controlling this ball game, up 37 now. As Bollinger going to take a three. That one's long. Gets her own rebound, puts up a floater, no good. Rebound now brought in by Whitney Aikenbrook. Now over to Adams. Now in the corner, Brooklyn Freem for a three, splashes it home. Brooklyn Freem for a three-point triple.
What a shot from Brooklyn Freem, who has now gone double digits on the night into the points category.
And now Goodman, a deep three-pointer, no good. And Claire Langigan hauls in a rebound. Now out to Aikenbrook, attacking the basket. And does not get it to drop as the Cadets will rebound it. As Nelson lost her goggles there, the officials blow it dead. 2:37 remaining in this ball game. The Spartans have just controlled this one throughout, now up by 40 points.
Yeah, and right now we're getting to see some Homestead Spartans that we don't necessarily see get a whole lot of playing time. Obviously, this team has been great at making sure everyone gets at least some playing time, but some unfamiliar faces that have been out on the court right now, and they're still looking pretty good.
Now on the top of the key, we're going to see Ortiz with it. Had 9 points in the first quarter, nothing since though.
Yeah, Homestead's done a great job of shutting her down here in the second half. Really, the last 3 quarters.
Now Ortiz in the left corner. As the Spartans playing some great defense here, not allowing the Cadets to get any open space. As Nelson's going to find a little bit of breathing room. Can't get that to drop though. Now Aikenbrook on that left side. Now Freem puts up a shot and she's fouled. It'll be sent to the line for 2.
Great ball movement there from the Spartans on that possession, and that is something you want to see when a team has players so young out on the floor.
So now with 1:30 left, Freem going to hit that first free throw. That's Sid Freem's first point of the night. As Carly Mollering is going to check in for the Homestead Spartans, the last Spartan to check in this one. Now the entire varsity roster has seen some action in this game.
Yeah, and it's really cool to see this team being able to use all their players in different ways, making sure everyone's able to get some playing time. Everyone's getting that crucial experience here in this early season.
As we now see Ortiz at the top of the key. Hands it off to Kaiser, who's going to drill a mid-range jump shot there. Now just a minute remaining in the ball game. Mollering on that left side. Now Langigan sends a pass down low. That's stolen away. Now a minute left in the ball game. Gives it down low, and that's going to be saved, but then to nobody as it goes out of bounds. Spartan's going to be taking back possession here, and they have just been dominating this entire ball game. And really, it gave their starters a lot of opportunities to get some rest and just stay on the bench in this one and prepare for that matchup against number 5 Noblesville.
Yeah, we saw the Spartans get out to a 20-point lead at the half, and now they lead by 40 with 30 seconds left in the game. And yeah, like you said, great being able to get their starters some rest here as the shots put up, and that'll go in from number 12 Claire Landrigan.
15 points on the night now for Claire Landrigan. Entering the game, had 0 points on the season, but 15 tonight. As we just now have seconds remaining in the ball game, as Richardson's going to attack the basket. Kick it outside, a 3, drilled home.
And for Concordia, that's a great way to end the game. You struggled a lot on offense, but you're able to end the game with a big 3.
It is great to see that from Kaiser to close out this ball game as the Homestead Spartans end up with a 72-31 victory over the Concordia Cadets, just dominating this one throughout. And how about the performance of Claire Landrigan in this one with 15 points here on the night?
Yeah, all the Spartans performed well tonight, but Claire Landrigan especially, the junior who put up 15 points tonight.
And now we're going to be sending it down to sideline reporter Anthony Gery, who's alongside Claire Landrigan.
Thank you, Noah and Claire. Big game for you tonight, career high scoring with 15 points. How were you able to get it done?
It was all of my teammates, and I think part of it was just gaining that confidence to know where the right passes were and when the right shots were coming.
This season, you guys are running a completely different offense and defense compared to last year. You got a lot of minutes last year on that team. How is this year different from last year?
I would say this year we're a lot guard heavier and focusing more around the perimeter, but also making sure we attack, so that's how we changed our offense a little bit.
Tomorrow, the big game, you guys have probably had it marked on your calendars since the regional game last year. How have you guys prepared this week?
We have made sure we've pushed each other on when we're playing defense against our offense and knowing how to break presses, and we've worked hard to get to this game.
And would you guys say that you guys are better suited this year to break the press that Noblesville runs?
I would say we prepared harder so that, because knowing what we went through last year, we worked harder to make sure we'll be ready to break this press.
Thank you, Claire.
Thank you.
Noah, back to you.
And thank you, Anthony. And the Spartans dominated this one, winning 72-31. And now we will send it to a quick break, but we will be back with the OPS post-game report.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
And now welcome back to Spartan Arena as we enter into our OPS post-game report as the Homestead Spartans dominated this ball game, winning 72-31. And now we're going to be taking a look at the final stats of tonight's game as the Homestead Spartans really controlled this one throughout, getting that 51-point victory. There's going to be a lot of keys looking at this as the Homestead Spartans dominated the rebound battle, out-rebounding the Cadets by 17, and also shot very well from the field, 50% overall and 43% from beyond the arc.
Yeah, you can see the Spartans just really dominated in most of the categories on your screen, especially the field goal categories and three-point field goals, and that's how they were able to get a lot of points, get up to a big lead, and then just play their game the rest of the night.
They definitely were able to just dominate all night long. They were playing their own pace, their own style. And how about the performance of Claire Landrigan stepping up big, scoring 15 points here tonight when entering the game she had not scored yet on the season.
Yeah, when you're missing a big player like Molly Stock, this is what you need from your team. And Claire Landrigan, she was ready to perform, and what a great game from her. You know, we saw her in that post-game interview. She was so out of breath, and it's because she was putting so much hard work in throughout this game, and it shows on the stat line.
And you were talking about stepping up big for Molly Stock's absence. How about the replacing her, or who replaced her in the starting lineup? Gabby Helsum stepping up with 4 3-pointers made here tonight.
Yeah, one of the most impressive performances we've seen by a freshman this season. A great game for her, and you know, down the line next year, heck, maybe even later this year, she could be a full-time starter.
And now to close out this broadcast, Braxton, do you have any final thoughts on this one?
I would just say this was a great game from the Spartans, a great momentum game heading into tomorrow night versus Noblesville, and we'll see if they're ready to handle that big test.
And on behalf of the entire Homestead Live crew, including sideline reporter Anthony Gery, producer Trevor Newhouse, switcher Michelle Obiyama, our camera operators and color commentator Braxton Hall, I'm Noah Johanningsmeier, saying so long from Spartan Arena. This has been a presentation of Spartan Basketball on Homestead Live. Have a great rest of your Friday.